What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA, and I was ready for today, man. I had to get ready for today. Put on my good clothes, right? Put on my best hat, just looking sharp because Supes is back, man. And guys know Superman is my all-time favorite hero. I am a dyed-in-the-wool Superman DC fan, and this is just great news. We saw it, of course, with the post-credit scene in Black Adam. And then, we got this announcement from Henry Cavill today. Let's go ahead and listen to this real quick.
Hey everyone, I wanted to wait until the weekend was over before posting this because I wanted to give you all a chance to watch Black Adam. But now that plenty of you have, I wanted to make it official that I am back as Superman. And the image you see on this post and what you saw in Black Adam are just a very small taste of things to come. So there's a lot to be thankful for, and I'll get to that in time. But I want to thank you guys most of all. Thank you for your support, and thank you for your patience. I promise it will be rewarded.
And it seems like we've been waiting forever to get to this headline, right? Henry Cavill returning as Superman. This, of course, is on Deadline. Teased sequel is that Dwayne Johnson's anti-hero and the Man of Steel are poised to go at it in part 2 of Black Adam. Yeah, they said, this is in no way a surprise. We told you this was in the works back in May of 2020, despite some at Warner Brothers throwing furniture at the time, upset that Deadline went with the news so early. So Deadline goes on and says, Cavill is still in final talks and there's no Man of Steel 2 yet, as there's no director or writer, but this is the way the universe is moving. Warner Brothers had no comment when reached. Now, see, for me, I would have already had all of that stuff ready to go, okay? All right, because we see what Marvel is doing right now. If you look at your competition, what's your competition doing over there? Because remember, this is what She-Hulk is doing right now, right? Trolling the trolls, big F you to the fans, They giving up here double middle fingers to the fans. Hey, get on top of this thing, man. Strike while the iron is hot. It's go time. I would have already had directors and writers lined up around the corner trying to just, hey, man, let's hurry up and get going with this thing, okay? What are we doing? No, let's hurry up and push Superman. Let's get on top of this thing. Let's move, fast track it. Let's get into production by the end of this year or the beginning of next year, okay? Because they've already shot this scene probably a couple of months back. I said, when they announced that Black Adam wasn't coming out in July, but was coming out in October, I said, they put something in this movie. And it probably was this post-credit scene. They put the post-credit scene in with Henry Cavill. So they knew probably way back in like April, May, hey, that's enough time to start getting this thing going. Get your villain, get your writers and directors, get everybody lined up. So by the time this movie drops, then the first thing that's coming out of Henry Cavill's mouth in that video that we saw should be, and by the way, and then, maybe another director slides in with them. Maybe it's Matt Vaughn or something. Hey, here's the guy that's going to be making the movie, blah, 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 whatever. That's how I would have done it. Now, maybe they are planning to do some kind of a staggered marketing approach, but that's how I would do it. But, regardless of that, the good news is that Superman is back, and it seems like that people that actually give a damn about fans are behind it. Now, I know you guys saw this particular tweet from Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, because I've seen it all over the place myself, okay? And he's thanking the fans. Remember, we talked about that with Tom Cruise after he did a great job. He thanks the fans, okay? He doesn't shit on the fans or talk shit about them. He thanks the fans. Thank you, fans. Thank you, audience, okay? He has nothing to say for the critics, okay? He says, what does he say? He says, the only thing that matters to me is sending the people home happy. They call him the people's champ, ladies and gentlemen, and they call him that for a reason. This guy gets it, okay? This guy understands that, hey, it's the paying customer that we need to pay attention to, okay? Not these damn critics. The critics are critics. They're going to criticize. They're going to say what they want, okay? But we need to listen to the paying customer. And he did. And look at that audience score. And the box office was solid, okay? 140 million. I said that's about where it would be. It needs 500 million to break even, okay? It's a long road for Black Adam. It's by no means out of the woods, but it's in a good spot. Okay, so Black Adam just needs to continue to do what it's doing, and it's going to be just fine. But the main thing that DC has got to understand, and I think they do, is Do what the fans want. So now you got to ask, what's next? What's next for DC now that Superman is back? You got Black Adam. You got 3 films coming out next year. You got Aquaman, you got The Flash, you got Shazam. Okay, that's going to kind of stabilize, I think, the universe. I think at least 2 of those films are going to be good. Not so sure about the third. But if they could get at least 2 out of 3 next year, great. They're in a good spot. But now you got to start setting up the future, DC. Now you got to start asking yourself what's next. And when this article came out a couple of days ago, Wonder Woman 3 script treatment expected soon from Patty Jenkins. Okay, is this what we want? Is this who we want doing this movie? You got to start asking yourself that question, okay? Yeah, Patty Jenkins in the first one, solid. Second movie, whoo, no way, okay? Now you got to start questioning, is she going to complete this thing out? Will they go with another director or creator or somebody else to finish out this particular trilogy, okay? I have a feeling they're going to stick with Patty Jenkins, but what I'm hoping is after they saw what happened with the Wonder Woman 84, hey, you, kid, you're a new writer, right? Hey, come on over here, okay? You know comic books? Good, okay? You're going to be hanging out with Patty for a couple of days. You're going to make sure that this damn script ain't dog shit, okay? All right, go ahead. They might need to get somebody in the room with Patty Jenkins because she didn't write the first one. She wrote the second one. I'm just saying, I'm just saying. But moving past that, now we're talking about a JSA movie, right? Okay, we want a JSA movie. Black Adam's Justice Society stupefies DC fans as they demand new JSA movie over Justice League 2. I don't know about that, but yeah, JSA movie is not a bad idea at all, right? You got these characters, they've already been introduced, they're gonna have a definite fan base that's gonna build around it, okay? Now that they've made their debut into the DCEU, do you go ahead and say, hey, let's go ahead and get this thing fast-tracked, okay? You got a couple of good characters that people like with Dr. Fate. I love Aldous Hodge's Hawkman. You had Cyclone, you also had Atom Smasher, bring in a couple of more members, and then, you get that thing moving, okay? I think there's opportunities all over the place with this particular situation with the JSA being introduced. We know that the Blue Beetles movie is still going forward, okay? It says here that Blue Beetle has Warner Brothers Discovery's full support, the director says. Now, it says here it's going to be released in August of 2023. I don't know about that. I'm a little iffy about DC and the release dates. I'm pretty confident that the 3 movies that were supposed to come out, Aquaman, Flash, and Shazam, are going to drop in 2023. This particular film, I don't know, but we'll have to see. If it does, that's 4 movies for DC in 1 year. That would be a slam dunk in my opinion. I've been saying this for years, that Superman needs to be at the forefront of the DC universe, okay? And it's not just because he's my favorite character, okay? But Superman is the leader and he kind of brings all of this stuff together anyway, all right? If you have Superman sitting at the forefront of your universe, everything falls in line, okay? And I know Batman is a more popular hero, but he's not the guy that keeps everything together. Batman is just that his character in itself. It's just kind of like a reclusive guy. He's out there on his own. He's just kind of like this vigilante kind of sort of person. So, you really can't build a universe around the idea of Batman, but you can build a universe around Superman. I think that was their biggest mistake, is not making him the centerpiece and going forward. But anyway, we'll see what happens. I think DC's on the right track. Finally, hopefully they stay on the right track. Folks, what do you think about the DCEU? Are they finally where they need to be? What do they need to do? Who are some of the villains that Superman should be going up against in this Superman movie? Should Patty Jenkins still do Wonder Woman Part 3? Is that something that we want to see? Blue Beetle going to drop next year? Hopefully, if it does, I think that's a solid, 4 movies in 1 year for DC. I think that would be absolutely amazing. But go ahead, leave me your thoughts and your opinions in the comments below. And thanks for watching. See you next time.